Hi everybody, this is Billie the Crafty Floridian, and I am going to make another cozy. I've made one and now this is the second one. And I picked out two different fabrics. One is for one side, one is for the other. And my batting they're 10-inch squares. So if you would to measure, I had them from side to side, they're 10-inch squares. So I got these off of someone that I was dealing with on Etsy. Yeah, it was on Etsy. They were pre-cut, and I would buy a stack of them because I was making a lot of cozies at that time. That was probably maybe 4 years ago. It's been a while since I've made any. So the first thing you want to do is you've got your 10-inch batting, and this is real nice batting. And it has to be 100% cotton. Your material must be 100% cotton. You cannot use anything that's got rayon, or it just has to be 100% cotton. So you want to cut your main piece of fabric, and your batting has to be 10 inches. Then what you're going to do is you're going to fold this so that you get you want to put a seam. You're going to go on the sewing machine and put a seam from corner to corner on each piece. So what I do is I fold it so that this point to this point is folded down. And I have one of these that I got from Temu. So what you do, I'm just pressing in the seam here so that I can see it when I'm sewing. I don't draw on it or draw a line or use anything like that. Then I take it, turn it around, see how I've got my little seam. Then I'm going to do it to this side so that this corner to this corner. Then I lay it flat, and then I use my little roller, and that gives me my little seam here. And you need to do that for both pieces. Okay, now I'm going to do it for this one. You want to make sure everything is ironed out flat. Now, I tell you, I made a lot of mistakes with the one I made earlier today. So this one, I want to make that right. So that's my seam. And I just prefer doing it this way. I could probably eyeball it, but I haven't done these in so long that I wouldn't want to take the chance that the seam's all over the place anyway, even when I do this where I know it's going to be straight. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Now we open up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew down each side. And that's going to stable that. So I'm going to pause here. God, I hope I do this right. I'm going to pause. Okay, so I've sewn across each of I'm going to nip my little threads here. The most important part is coming next. You check this one. Did I clip them? I got right here. Clip those. Okay. So if you can see where I've sewn my X, and that's going to hold everything in place. Now, the second process is you need to make your what do you call them? Your gatherings. What do you call it? I'll think of it in a minute. Boy, I'm telling you, I shouldn't be doing this at night, but this is. So you want to fold your fold your thing in half, like so. So you know where the X should be right there in the middle. I just give it a little close one of these. Then you take your ruler, and I usually just use a pin. And on the folded side, you want to measure 2 inches, and then you want to mark it right there. Okay? And on this folded side, you measure 2 inches, and you mark it. Now, I don't remember what the measurement was, but here I measure it like almost an inch, or around an inch on the outside. And that's going to be your pleat. That's right, your pleat right here. And then measure it an inch on this side. Everything gets in the way. Boobies get in the way. Okay, so there, an inch. And what we're going to do is we're going to sew diagonal right here on both sides. But right now we're going to do this side. And we're going to take the other one and do the same. Now this is not picture perfect. I don't use that rotor cutter too much because I'm afraid I might hurt myself. Just be like me, right? So I just hold it up to right here and measure my 2 inches on both sides. 2 inches right here. And then I'll do an inch. I do about an inch here. Normally I wouldn't mark these because I kind of know where I need to go, but it's kind of nice to show somebody. Okay. Now, so that's going to go that way. Now, if you want to, you can take it and turn it the opposite direction and go ahead and mark your creases, your pleats. So that's 2, and then this is an inch. Now, some people do it different, but that's the way I do it. And then there are videos out. Other people do them, you know, really good videos. Mine is just, you know, do the best you can. And that's an inch. Okay, I'll do the same for the other piece also. So you fold it that way, then you turn it and go the opposite direction. Okay. Measure my 2 inches. 2 inches here. Don't forget, now we've got Boggy Creek blanket opening on Wednesday night. And then we got this one. Okay. And we have the inch here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause. I'm going to go. The reason I could do the machine because my machine's very loud and I'm afraid it will be too loud for the video. So I'm going to pause here. I'm going to do, and what I'm going to do is put the sewing machine here. I'm just going to sew from this point to this point, and I'm just going to leave it, and then I'll show you what I do from there. We are at a pause. Okay, so now I have both of my little pleats done. I'm going to trim them. Now when you do the second side of your for your pleat here, you want to be sure that you maybe pin it like I did here. I put a straight pin here just to kind of keep it in place because it will move on you here. So I'm just going to make sure all my strings have been removed. Let's see, do I have any more? Even when you think you've got them all, and you can see now, you see you've got your little bowl cozy, put your little bowl in there. Okay, and this is the second piece. Let's get those strings off of here. Boy, I got a lot of strings. And you do. I think we waste more thread with this than anything. Okay. So let's make sure we get all these strings over here. Got a little screwed up there. Got any more? I think we look pretty good. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to take your scissors and you want to cut right, leave about 1/4 of an inch there. So you just want to cut that excess fabric off and your batting. There. And then this one. And then this side. Hardest part's coming up, so be prepared. Okay, now we're going to do this side. I've done them several ways. I do have a template that I can use that I got, but I wanted just to show you not everybody has the template. So now look at that. See? We got one side and the other side. Now what you're going to do, I usually say there's always one side that might be a little bit better than the other. So what I'm going to do is take this one and turn it so that my two right sides of fabric are going to be facing into each other. Then I sort of put them in, sort of blend them, see which ones are going to match up. Now these are going to match up really nice. So what I do is just kind of put them together, and then I'll stick a straight pin here. That looks good. That looks good. Straight pins, where are you? Where are you? Here, we'll put you together in here. Okay, and make sure you get your ends all matched up inside. This is going to do very nicely. And then this is the last one. Now the mistake that I make sometimes, most of the time, is when I'm sewing this, I get too close to the edge. I've got to make more of a seam here to hold to, because sometimes I will miss a piece of fabric on one side or the other side. So I've got to be extra careful on that. So what you want to do is you want to probably start about right here, the middle of one of your upward V's, and then go all the way around on your machine, and then you want to stop about here, about halfway, so that you have an opening. Your opening will be from here. Sometimes these needles are just not. So let's say our opening will be from here to here. So we just want to sew from here around to here. We need an opening because we have to pull that inside out. Okay, so now I'm going to the sewing machine, and I'm going to, let me make sure, you want to make sure that your seams are matching up inside. And now I'm going to take it to the machine and I'm going to sew around, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've sewn all the way around. Now I'm going to remove my little straight pins here. Now hopefully hopefully I did it enough so that I caught all the material on both sides. And this, since this is a pointed, what I do is I trim off the corners, a little bit there, a little bit there, so it's nice and rounded. And then I cut this corner off, a little bit rounded here, a little bit rounded there, and then this corner here. And this is the last corner, I think. Be sure that you don't cut your seams in here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is have a clean slate here. Just going to reach in, and I have this really neat tool that I bought. It's a clover, but this little tool right here really helps me smooth out the edges and stuff. So we're going to reach in. I usually go all the way to a point across from the hole and pull that through like this. And I just pull that baby through like so. Okay. And then I take my little tool through the hole, and then I go in with the smooth edge and just try to start smoothing out some of it. Okay. I take my little edge, the sharper one, and just go in and get your little points out here. There we go. Okay, we got that little point out. I'll get this one pointed out. You want to be careful. You don't want to go through the fabric. Okay, we got that one. And then we go. Oops. Got that one through. We got that one through. Now we just start pressing in. Don't worry, we'll take care of the little thing here. Okay. I think we caught all the material on both sides. I can't believe it. We just kind of smooth it out a little bit. Now normally if I had the iron on, I would go in and iron it flat before. What I have to do now is I need to go and I'm going to top stitch all the way around it. And that takes care of the opening right here. Now, that's if you don't want to iron it, or you don't have the iron on. Everybody's talking about my blinking light. Well, the blinking light does not tell you that the iron is on. It just lets you know that it's plugged in. I don't know why, but the light, I mean, the iron is definitely off. I just forgot to unplug it. So I'll be sure to put that. Okay, so now it's all pinned, and sometimes it's good just to go and top stitch it around so that it looks like this. See, I went around and I top stitched it all the way around. I haven't pressed it yet, but then there's the top stitch. I got a little piece of something in there. There we go. Sometimes these edges, I don't know why that did that. Oh, it caught up. Sometimes the thread gets caught up in your sewing. Okay, there we go. So it went all the way around and it caught and it does this. So now you've got your good side, you got this side, and then you can flip it, and then you've got so that when you put a bowl inside here, and you put it in your microwave, and you make your soup or whatever. Now, the one that I use is a mess because things have spilt over it, right? So you can just throw this in the washer and then in the dryer, and it comes out perfect. So you have no problem. So you can have either side, inside or outside. On this one, I prefer the stripes on the inside. And then you have your little bowl cozy. So that's the way you make a bowl cozy. Now, is that not easy or what? So I am going to make a bunch, and I'll show them to you. And if anyone's interested in them, I'll come up with a pricing as a pair, not as a single, but as a pair. So all I have to do now is get this done, and then I will have a pair of bowl cozies. So wasn't that simple? It's just having the right materials too. Having I would buy a long strip of matting, and I'd have to measure it and cut it, and it was not worth my time, so then I bought it. Okay, so that is the end of our bowl cozy instructions. I hope you liked it, and I will see you guys tomorrow, which will be, this is for day 4, and then I will see you for day 5. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.